Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people? It's Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of Craftoria, and today we did update the pack. We are in a new version, which is 1.11.0, and we have Apotheosis added to the pack, and also Crystal. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure this is called Crystal Chronicles, and Champions Unofficial removed from the pack. Crystal Chronicles was an Iron Spells add-on that added another dimension, and Crystal Chronicles is the one that added like the Elite and other boss bar looking mobs. That's what I was trying to think of. And then, of course, Apotheosis was added. This adds a tier system into the world called a world tier system. Basically, it'll give you different purities and rarities for gems and affixes and all of that different stuff. Currently, we're in the Haven tier, but it does say that the Haven tier is locked. I'm not 100% sure how we progress through this. The quest book does have an insert. It says certain advancements and activated the world tier select menu. So not sure because I didn't let me click on anything. But yeah, so there's some stuff in here talking about there's new world generation. Wandering traders will have different stuff. Apotheosis bosses, so those creatures that spawn in and you hear the loud boom boom or whatever, that is what that is talking about. So we shall see those guys every so often, and that is fantastic. But that is most of the changes. There's some mod updates and things, but nothing too tremendous. And with that, we can talk about what's behind me. So I went ahead and off camera, I went and made a charging station, charging situation more, because there's 4 charging stations under us for a charged Certus Quartz kind of automation. This is very slow because we are just using default chargers. I would love to do different chargers and move forward with that, but we currently do not have any better chargers or access to anything like that. I don't think, right? I don't think I looked, but from what I know, with our current resource level, we weren't able to do too much. So there's the Inscriber. Let's see. The electrolyzer, once we get into MI, Certus Quartz crystals in the reaction chamber. So yeah, nothing we could just get into right now. So that is good. We've got that going. And then we've also got silicone, which is going and making Certus Quartz dust, breaking that, of course, putting it in a barrel, drawer, and then pushing it over into an energized smelter using a pushing upgrade, and then being pushed up once it's complete. So these are very, very simple automations, nothing too insane, just really quick, really easy things to do. And so I just went and did them off camera. This will allow for us to get into AE2 a little bit faster, and that is fantastic. So let's actually start looking at that. What do we need? So what do we need to really get going in AE2? Like, what kickstarts this whole thing? And the answer to that, well, is the Inscribers, which we just saw. We will need a handful of these. I'm thinking probably 4 or 5 of these, and we probably will want to get more thermo generators as well. So this is just going to be me crafting some stuff, and then we're going to probably put those either right there, or right there in this corner to then get our processes of getting the logic processor and all of these other ones, which are right here. The calculation, the engineer, the logic, silicone, and then there's a handful of others that are added on from other mods. We really just need to worry about these 4 right here for right now. And of course, silicone is going to be the one that we want the most of because that is required for these other 3 whenever we make those. So we can see here's the printed logic circuit, and then here is the printed engineering circuit, and then here is the printed calculation. So Certus Quartz, diamonds, and then gold. So definitely some expense there, and then of course silicone, which is what we're making right here. So let's go and get stuff crafted real quick. Alrighty, let's get this going here. So I've got a handful of more thermo generators, and we're basically going to run this line out this direction. And we're going to get our inscribers placed down around about here. So I've got 8 of these, and the reason I've got 8 of these is because we're going to do the actual inscriber pieces. So let's move this. Hold on. So the top are going to be the actual presses. So we're going to put these guys in here. And then down below is where we're going to put the rest of these. So we're actually going to need... Can that actually link these? I don't think it can. So we're just going to do something like this. Okay. And then I'm going to grab some stone. And then that should be good. Okay, so all of these should have power. And then what I'm going to do is auto-export. And auto-export. And I'm going to put a barrel in front of each of these guys. Let's see, auto-export. Actually, let's not do the barrel just yet. So what I want to try, so calculation, which is Certus quartz. So this should auto-export to the bottom, I do believe. Yes. And then I would then want to get redstone pushed in here and then silicone. So the only one that doesn't need one under it is the silicone press. So let's get rid of this one. I really only need 7. Because then this one is going to feed to the rest of them. Let's see. How do I want to do that, though? Can I do the reverse of this? I'm curious. If I were to put this in here, would this push up? Okay, so that would push up. So let's kind of think this through. So then if I were to grab an item pipe and then put a barrel here and then were to pull out... Actually, I guess I wouldn't even need to do... I would just do auto-export and then grab silicone. Right, stack of silicone. And then push that in here. Not in here, in here. That would then process, right? That becomes the silicone that we would need. And that would be pushed out the front. So then this would be pushed out the top, and then we would then want to just do item pipes and do extraction. We don't have anything to set this to like round robin, but I think this would work better. So we're just going to swap this out. So what I would want to do is most likely then put like a barrel or chest here. Or like right here, I think. So barrel, then item pipe. And in that way I could put in several stacks of silicone. And then just get that processing. All right, and we push this in here, and that does give us round robin. So that's fantastic. Okay, so that should be good. These guys should now fill up with silicone, and then once we get redstone, which is the next component, we're going to put that right here. And grab a couple stacks. Come on, there we go. And this should be pushable by stack. I don't really care. We probably do need this to be more than that, but that's okay. So that is making calculation processors. Then we'd want to then get gold and diamonds. So a stack of gold. I'm going to sacrifice a stack of diamonds. We don't really use the engineering one as much as the other ones, but having a stack will just benefit us overall in general, so that's not going to be a bad thing whatsoever. So let's just toss a stack in here and a stack in here. And then that will slowly start processing all of this shenanigans, and we should be golden. So we're going to definitely want to get acceleration cards, by the way. Let me actually quickly. So acceleration cards aren't that expensive. They do require calculation processors, so the one we actually started with. And these would actually speed up the machines to get this process going faster. So I'm probably going to go grab 4 for this. And that is the apotheosis thing, by the way. I'm going to go grab 4 of these guys. And that will allow for us to then get just a little bit better off. And also, real fast as well, we can set... Ooh, not what I meant to do. We can then set a barrel down here, by the way. And that will allow for us to auto-output into this barrel. So we'll have everything at the end of the line rather than in the middle. Okay, let me get the acceleration. I will be right back here in a second, and we should be cruising. Alrighty, there's been a little bit of a time gap between last segment and this one, and I actually was going to post this video on the 27th, but I had some family news come out, and I'm not going to get into it, but because I don't really talk too much about my personal life in these videos, but yeah, it kind of hit me, and I wasn't able to get this episode up later, and yeah, so I've also got some other things. If you cannot tell, I actually have some audio adjustments made. I have got a Stream Deck XLR. I'm not going to recommend this product because I haven't used it enough, but I've been using it, and so things are a little bit shifted. So, from what I remember last time, we did get basically everything set up for engineering, calculation, and logic processors, and we are now getting them. So what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to set an input for each of these guys. So that way, we are able to kind of throw in a few stacks at a time and things like that. But we do have quite a bit of these processors, which is fantastic. We've also got, of course, the acceleration cards, which I did go ahead and craft. So now all we got to do is if we need more of those, we can just grab some silicone and go silicon and put that in there. It'll process up. And then if any of these need one, which most of these guys do, they are going to be pulled out in round robin into that barrel and then pushed into one of those inscribers in the middle. So that is definitely a completed process, and that is fantastic. So I do want to look at this because I think we need to make this better. And one of the ways to do that is to get some mechanism add-ons, or mechanism upgrades as they're called, not really add-ons. And to do this, we're going to do /home so I don't have to run back and forth. We're going to grab some gold, and we're going to grab some osmium. Where is my osmium? There it is. Perfect. And we're going to go, and we're going to go get this crushed up. The 2 upgrades we're going to be looking at are the energy upgrades, which require gold dust, 2 infused alloys, and 2 pieces of glass. And then this one, which I'm going to try and bookmark that recipe there, is osmium dust, 2 infused alloy, and 2 pieces of glass. So one of the things that I will mention is as of right now, we are able to do 32 upgrades, but default for Mechanism is still 8. We actually have a mod in here called Mechanism Unleashed, I do believe is what it's called, that allows for us to do more than 8 upgrades in a machine. Really, we're just going to do 8, and we're going to go put that on the silicone one so we can actually get more silicone and all of that fancy stuff. So that is fantastic. That is going to work, but this whole system is pretty decent. I don't think it's like the best. Of course, we will get into automatic crafting and all of that stuff and get the extended inscribers and all of that different jazz. So that will lead us into getting into AE2 fully. We don't really have like a solid power system. I think for now we're going to use thermo generators basically for a while. I don't know. What actually mods do we have in here for power? Generator. If we just look up generator, we could go and do some gas burning generators for mechanism. I don't know what in the world these are. Do these actually provide power? It looks like they do. I have no idea what kind of power, but apparently they are. There's an option if you wanted to do that. I don't think I want to do that, but that's... I don't think I want to do that, but that's a pretty nifty idea. Solar power... A biogenerator. I kind of forget this is in here. Do we have a chapter on it? Can I pull this up? I can't. Okay, I was just trying to see if I could click that and pull it up. Mechanism? It's probably in this mess. All right, so I found it. It is actually on the backbone of this operation, goes off into the biogenerator, which I actually don't know how good the biogenerator is. But I know, of course, biofuel is how you would do that. So you need to get automatic farming and stuff going, which is an option. Gas burning is... I thought I saw this one here. Let's zoom in a little bit more. So there's your digital miner, chemical washer. That's the one I thought it was. That was the actual gas burning, but it's not. Man, there's laying this stuff out like this is actually really interesting. Okay, it's right here. So you'd need, which one is this? Chemistry. So this is just a check mark. So this one, gas burning generator. This is a really good source of power from Mechanism. It's a very cheap source, but it also takes a little bit of setup to get there. So definitely something we'll look at here in the future, just not right now. Okay, I'm going to actually just claim some of these rewards here real fast. I wish there was a way to, like, click on this and just proceed to get the reward instead of having to go into it. I think that'd be a pretty neat feature for this. I got a free coal generator? Man, I should have used that. Ooh, free stuff. That's talking about getting all of the cards. We don't really need all of them. Okay. All right. So I am going to let this process. I'm going to then get those upgrades, and we'll be right back. All right. We're going to put up 8 energy upgrades and 8 speed upgrades in this thing, and that will then allow for this to process silicone much, much quicker. Of course, now there's like 400 in here because I did AFK for a hot minute. Also, if you do not know, the blood moon, I'm going to see if I can actually turn this off, creates a sound whenever there's a blood moon outside, which of course right now there currently is. So I've just kind of been not caring. I've got a mega torch in the base area, so I'm not too worried about that. Also, I don't know what mod this really is, Trophers, and they actually... Trophers. This tropher thing gives you blaze powder every 15-16 minutes. Interesting. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on getting some more stuff for AE2, just the processors and stuff, because I will need a lot of those. And with that, I'm going to wrap this one up here. I know we haven't done too much this episode. Of course, there was also a large time gap, so I kind of lost track of what I was doing partway through. But I think we still did pretty decent this episode. We've got a little bit of progression through Mechanism as well, an understanding of the upgrades. And, of course, we could do up to 32 if we wanted to. But after a certain point, they're kind of useless. They just add more storage for energy. I think the energy upgrade, after a certain amount, only becomes energy storage and not actually make it more efficient. And then the speed upgrades, of course, just need more energy to be used. So yeah, with that being said, I think I'll stick to the 8 for now, and I'll probably get them on the machines upstairs as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and again, we see you in the next one. Bye-bye.